Hello, welcome to the show. We're back. Finals time. We thought we'd jump on. Let's go through the top 8. Let's start with that. Panthers, Sharks, Cowboys, Eels, Storm, Roosters, Rabbitohs, Raiders. Any shocks there for you?
Well, at the beginning of the year, I definitely did not think that the Cowboys were going to be anywhere near the top 8, let alone the top 4. But apart from that, I'm not really surprised at all.
I think you had everyone else in there, didn't you?
I did.
Apart from the Cowboys? So you got 7 of the top 8.
Well, I don't think anyone in the entire world would have gotten the Cowboys. I would have picked the Cowboys in the top 8.
There's no one that put their name out there that picked the Cowboys to make the 8. I think if we go through every podcaster, every expert, every ex-player that put out a ladder prediction, none of them, as long as they're not affiliated with the Cowboys, had them in the top 8. That's just nuts. The Sharks into the top 4 too. That was a shock for me. I thought they would do a lot better than last year, but last year they were the worst team defensively by a long way. They missed almost 40 tackles a game last year.
Yeah.
So to turn that one around, they looked a little bit shaky on the weekend, but I wonder if it was a little bit of self-preservation because they knew they were already in the top 4, top 2. My top 8 was the Panthers, Roosters, Storm, Manly. Jesus Christ. I had the Eels, Rabbitohs, Sharkies, and I had the Gold Coast Titans, man.
I mean, they could beat anyone on their day. They just need to work on the defense. Like that's all their problem is, their defense.
We were saying that last year though about their defense.
Yeah.
And it just never got any better. Like what do they concede this year? Almost 700 points, 660 points, man. Jesus. What did they concede last year? They would have conceded a ton last year as well.
Yeah.
583 points last year, and they made the 8. But I thought it was a harder top 8 to make this year. Personally, I think this is a fairer top 8. Your top 8 was the Panthers, Storm, Rabbitohs, Roosters, Parramatta, Manly, Sharks, Raiders. The Raiders just snuck in there. Got to be happy with that tip.
Oh, I'm stoked with the tip. I gave up on it midway through the season, thinking, nah, they're done. They're done. But I'm glad they came through.
Yeah, that's going to be one that'll live with me. I picked a bottom 4. I was the opposite to you. I was looking real good about halfway through the year because they started just shocking. I remember the Dogs went down there at one point, favourites to beat them. That's how bad they were going.
Yeah.
But that forward pack just found some form on the back of Joe Tarpany. He's been electric. He's had such a great season. I hope he has a good final series. Tough first game for them. But let's look at those finals. What are we looking at?
On Friday, we've got the Panthers taking on the Eels at Blue Bets. That's first, fourth, sorry. On the Saturday, there's actually a triple header down at Amy Park. You've got the Titans versus Eels and Dragons versus Broncos in the NRLW. And then we've got the Storm taking on the Raiders. Same day, we've got the Cowboys taking on the Sharks at PointsBet. And lastly, we've got the Rabbitohs taking on the Roosters at Allianz Stadium. That should be on the Sunday.
So to get to my grand final that I predicted at the start of the year were the Storm Roosters.
Yep.
So my grand final's alive. To get there, if both of them just win their games, because they're on different sides of the draw, my grand final will happen. Your grand final's a bit harder to get to, though.
Yeah, so I had the Panthers Roosters. So for my grand final to come about, I've got the Panthers need to lose this week and then win the rest of the games, and the Roosters just have to win the games.
Yeah, well, I want to throw my grand final out the window because I don't want it to happen now. That the Cowboys are a chance, and I'm really excited about our chances. I think we've got a great matchup round 1. I think we can win that. I think we can beat the Sharks. But let's get into that first game. It's the Battle of the West. I like that these two guys are playing each other straight up because then that can be a grand final. And what a grand final that would be, Panthers Eels. In front of 84,000 at ANZ, they would pack every single seat out of that stadium. What are you thinking about this one? Where are you going?
All right, so I've got this game going either one of two ways. So we all know Nathan Cleary's been out for a while. Jerome Luai was out for a little bit as well. Maybe just the cohesion there, they might just be a bit off and Parramatta will win. Or Penrith, of course, they've been out for a little while. Nathan Cleary, Jerome Luai. They're going to be 100% rested. And they're going to be firing and they're going to flog Parramatta.
It's a tough one for me because I messaged you, I think it was June. I think we just spoke about this, June. I
Yep.
messaged you, and I said, if Parramatta make the top 4, they'll win the comp. Last year I didn't stick to what I said, and this year I'm not going to stick to it either. I think they're in real danger of going bang bang. A lot of people are high on them, and that's why I think they can go bang bang out of the 8. I think they're getting really, really hyped up, and when they come into a game thinking they're a chance, that's when they get a little bit complacent. And I think, even though I think the Penrith Panthers are beatable, I think the Panthers win this one and then set up a Eels Storm clash in the second round, which we know they haven't been great against the Storm in final situations.
That's true. I'm going the opposite way. I think Parramatta will win.
All right, I'm going to go the Panthers first game up.
On to the second game, the Storm taking on the Raiders. Who do you got?
Do you see a world where the Raiders win this? I think they've won their last 4 at Eden Park, but Storm at home, semi-final. I don't see
This is do or die for Storm.
Yeah.
Like, how long since we've seen the Storm play like a do or die game? Like that in the first week of the semis.
I can't remember. They've made the top 4 just consistently over my life. No, I can't see them losing. I just can't see a world where the Raiders go down there and beat them. I think their forward pack's good, but I think the Storm have way too much class for them.
Yeah, I don't see the Raiders doing anything in this game, to be honest. But you never know. You never know. They have, as you said, they've won their last 4 at Amy Park. So can they keep the streak alive? I don't think so.
I think if the Storm put a lot of pressure on them early, it might be a massacre.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Raiders. You never know. You never know.
Official tip: Storm.
Storm, 100% official tip. Roosters, Bunnies.
Oh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Cannot wait for this game. I'm thinking about going back out there. It's on a Sunday. I don't work Sundays. 4 p.m. Did you hear what happened with the tickets?
I have no idea what happened to the tickets.
So they got released to members today.
Yeah.
And the Rabbitohs fans got the wrong code. So it got sent out to all their members, and the code was wrong for 2 hours. By the time they fixed it and gave them the right code, most of the good seats were gone already.
You reckon that's done on purpose?
Oh, nah. These teams hate each other. Someone's done something. Politis has messed with the code. They probably had the code, like, get stuffed or something.
Yeah.
Buy your own tickets.
Yeah, wow. The wrong code for 2 hours.
Yeah. So that's all the good seats on the side, I guess, would be gone.
Oh, well,
This stadium doesn't really have a bad seat in the house,
Yeah.
I don't reckon.
yeah, we went there, on Saturday? Friday?
Friday, I think.
And we sat kind of behind the posts, a little bit to the right. They were great seats.
Yeah, I saw some people saying the lines were really long at the ground and that the ground didn't seem too much different to the old one. And another one saying that their line of sight was obstructed. They were right up the back behind us, behind the screen. I just want to say where we sat was outstanding. You could see everything. You didn't have to watch the screen. Secondly, I didn't wait in a line for over 3 minutes, I don't reckon.
Yeah. I did same with me. Maybe 5 minutes was the max I waited in the line.
Yeah, and the stadium is so different to the old Allianz. It's like so different. If you're right on top of the game, people compared it to Combank as well. I think it's a bit different to Combank too. I just think you're just on top of the game. I've sat right up the top at Combank, and it feels like you're further away. We're probably 3/4 of the way up, maybe half the way up, and it just felt like you're on top of it. So the stadium is sick. I don't know if it's worth 800 million, but it is pretty sick.
Well, I wouldn't spend $800 million on a stadium.
Well,
Me personally.
I got other things to spend that money on.
Yeah.
What are you thinking here?
Look, if Cam Murray he doesn't get his clearance from the independent doctor, I think the Chooks, I think they'll get him, and quite easily. But if Cam Murray does get clearance, I think that makes for a really interesting game. I'm going to stick with the Chookies, though.
You're going Chooks?
I'm going Chooks, yeah.
I'll go Bunnies.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to go the Bunnies.
East to win, baby.
Done. All right, last game of the round.
Sharks taking on the Cowboys. Now, I think this is probably second easiest pick behind Storm Raiders. I think Cowboys have got the Sharks covered.
We've done the games out of order too. This isn't the order. We're going off the just the finals bracket.
Yep.
The Sharks, Cowboys will be the main game on the Saturday. The Roosters, Rabbitohs will be on the Sunday. I'm the same. I really like our chances.
Yeah.
The Cowboys. I don't really understand how we're outsiders. I think we have more attacking flair than the Sharks, and our defense consistently. It's apart from the last probably month, our defense, especially in the second half, has just been outstanding. If we can keep it close early, I think we can kick on. I think we can win this 32-10.
So pretty comfortably, you think?
Yeah, I think second half we can kick on and beat the Sharks handily.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking more of a game, maybe 20-10, maybe 20-12, something like that. But yeah, I think the Cowboys got too much for the Sharkies. And the Sharkies, I mean, they've had a really easy run into the finals, like the last 5 weeks or whatever. They've faced all like teams in the bottom part of the ladder. So I just think the Cowboys are going to be too much for them.
And I think we're fit and firing at the right time. I really like our forward pack. Tommy Gilbert, Griffin Neem, Jason Tamalolo. I think Cohen S has had a good year. Leilua, Nanai, they're all playing pretty good footy. No disrespect to the Sharks. They've had a great year. I think it's a tough matchup stylistically for the Sharks, and I think we'll beat them.
Yep, 100%.
So what does that make? My round 2 matchups would be the Eels Storm, which is a tough matchup for the Eels, and then Sharkies South, which would be an absolute cracker. Your matchups would be the Panthers and the Storm.
And then Chookies and the Sharkies.
Tough matchup for the Sharkies. I think the Chooks can beat them.
I think that,
if the Chooks get there.
I think if the Chooks win, like the week 1, I think they're a great chance to make the grand final.
Yeah, especially with news that Joey Manu's a chance for a prelim grand final situation. He might just play. So I think whoever wins that 6th-7th game could go to a grand final. Personally,
100%. They've both got great teams. Unfortunate that they're versing each other round 1, and one of them is going to have to go home. But
yeah,
interesting.
Okay, I wanted to do if not your team, who? So we're obviously a lot of bias here. I'm thinking the Cowboys can win the comp. You're probably hoping that the Para can win the comp.
Yes.
Yeah, hoping. So take your team out of the equation. If not your team, who and how do they get there?
I'm going to stick true to what I said at the start of the year. I think it's going to be either Panthers or the Roosters. So, as I said before, Roosters, if they win round 1, I think they've got a great run to the grand final. If Penrith win week 1 and they meet them in the prelim, that'll probably be the toughest game for them. I just think they've got such a good team. Like Sam Walker's doing great. Luke Keary, he's hitting some form again, and James Tedesco, he's as dangerous as ever. I think they've got a great team, and they can. I reckon, you know what? That's my team to win the grand final. It's not Parramatta, the Roosters.
The Roosters. Okay. I'm with you. I think the Roosters will go to a grand final, and I'm same vein as you. I'm backing my own prediction in the start of the year. I think the Storm win the grand final. I think them finishing 5th has opened up the draw perfectly for them because they get, if Para lose week 1, they get the Raiders at home. Then they go to Combank to play Para, who they match up great against in semi-finals. They've beaten them consistently in semi-finals. Then they swap over and they play either the Sharks or the Cowboys, which I think is a very winnable game for the Storm. So they get that not overly hard trot to the grand final, who they'll probably play the Roosters or Penrith. And I think they can beat both those teams. So we're both sticking with our prediction at the start of the year. So if the Roosters were to win the grand final, who's it on the back of? Who wins the Clive Churchill?
James Tedesco. Has to be. Like you've seen, like in the first 20 minutes of last week's game, he had 120 run meters and scored a try. He's unbelievable.
Good to watch live too, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's really good to watch live.
The
way he just sniffs around the play ball, he must be so fit. Have you seen a guy, I was thinking this the other day, he's been probably top 3 in the competition for, 5 years straight? 6 years straight?
Yeah, something like that.
That's a pretty good run at the top. And I would maybe argue even top 2 in the competition for 5 years straight. And every year coming into Origin, his position gets talked about. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And it's mostly Blues fans that are talking about it too.
Yeah.
I do not understand it. I think he's such a good player. I'm going to go, if the Storm do win it, I think I'll be on the back of Cam Munster.
He's having a year, Cam Munster.
And I predicted Cam Munster, Clive Churchill at the start of the year too.
Did you put any money on it?
No, I did not.
Can you put money on that on the grand final at the start of the year? Is that like a thing?
Yeah, I think so. On the Clive Churchill?
Yeah.
I think so. I wonder if they've got to mark it up now.
Ooh. I wonder what he'd be paying. He'd be paying something like $20 or something.
Do you want to run us through the favourites to win the grand final on Sportsbet?
Favourites to win the grand final on Sportsbet?
Do you have that?
I would do. Somewhere. Just let me...
I'll try and bloody find this thing.
Yeah, alright. Let's see here. So,
the
odds to win the grand final, you got Penrith with the number one odds at $2.25. Then a shock, you got Parramatta at $6. Then you got the Sharkies at $7, Cowboys at $8, and the Storm at $9.50, which I think is an absolute
outrageous.
Yeah, it's a rort. Like
Yeah.
they should get on it if you think they're going to win $9.50. Then you got the Roosters at $13, the Rabbitohs at $20, and the Raiders at $67.
I don't mind the Roosters Rabbitohs price right now because that's the game of the first round.
Yeah.
I think the Roosters Rabbitohs, either of those teams can make a grand final.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't mind that price. The Melbourne price is borderline criminal, and the Parramatta price a bit short for mine. Nathan Cleary's odds-on favourite at $4 for the Clive Churchill.
Yep.
You got Munster out at $21.
Oh,
That's crazy.
I said
Nico
$20.
Hines is the next favourite at $11. What about your boy King Gutho? Can he win a Clive Churchill?
I hope. Please. I said this before. If Parramatta win the competition, I'm getting a tattoo saying King Gutho.
Well, if you like King Gutho to win a Clive Churchill,
$35.
51.
Oh,
51.
I'll cop that.
$51. Who do you think's the leading Cowboys man?
Is it? Surely it's not Scotty.
Nah. It's Jason Tamalolo at $31. Scott Drinkwater out at $34.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Valentine Holmes, good odds too at 51.
He's come back and had a great year for the Cowboys. I think maybe
Yeah,
he just needed a bit of time to, kind of get back into the groove.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
Anyway, that's all I got for you. So I've got the Cowboys obviously winning the comp. If not the Cowboys, the Storm. You've got the Eels. If not the Eels, the Roosters.
Chookies.
I swear, you just flip and change because before we even went on air, we were talking about how you think the Rabbitohs will probably beat the Roosters this week.
The more I thought about it, the more I'm thinking... I was talking about James Zesko, Luke Keary, Sam Walker, and I was like, you know what? The Chookies.
Literally, the more you thought about it, we talked about it, we jumped on air, and then I asked you who you got for the Roosters Rabbitohs, and you just went in the total opposite direction. Not only are the Roosters not losing this week, they're winning the grand final.
Yeah, I think so.
Outrageous. All right, we'll be back next week. We're going to go every Monday. Sorry for the absence. Both our working lives kind of changed around a little bit there, so we couldn't do it. But every Monday going forward, we're back. Get involved. And they can still see you.